No, we're live. We gotta go. All right, guys. We had so many technical difficulties, almost too many to count, but we are here now. We're live. Session 2 was awesome. Matt, first take. What's your first take? Go.
Well, in a lot of ways, it seemed like the tournament started tonight. You know, everything really kind of held true to form for the most part. You know, in session 1, session 2 pitted tons of returning All-Americans against each other, top-ranked guys. But yeah, just the level of intensity, everything raised just a completely another level tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think that especially the 25 and 33s were so good that it kind of got everything like going right away. I mean, we were trying to watch all the different things that were going on, and it was almost impossible to keep up. You know that for me, the energy was Bravo Young, DeSanto. It was a really good match. So just to recap, I mean, hopefully a lot of you guys watched it, but man, Bravo Young is on that. So it's 3-2, third period. He gets on a shot. It appears to me he has a takedown. They go out of bounds. Bravo Young hits the table. DeSanto thinks he got a takedown because he runs back to the middle.
The center and goes down.
And goes down. So he's thinking, I got taken out also. And
the Penn State guys, I mean, there was a lot of things going on.
So Bravo Young's hurt right there.
Yeah. He got thrown into the table.
And then they go back to the center and they realize, hey, there's no takedown. So then they throw the brick. All this time later, well, you know, they could have been doing it while the medical care was looking at him. Wow. You know, and then Bravo Young can't get a takedown. DeSanto wins. It felt like a huge win and momentum shift. I mean, listen, I get the fact that no one's beating Penn State, right? That doesn't mean that there's still not a lot of stuff going on. And it felt like that was kind of a big momentum for Iowa. And then Iowa goes on. They won they made their first 6 guys made the quarters. I mean, they were on fire. They had about as good of a first, that's 15 matches, about as good of a first 15 matches that you could have.
You couldn't have asked for a better scenario. I mean, everybody was talking, this was the round for Iowa. They had to come through. They had so many second-round tests, so many big-time matches, and they came through relatively unscathed tonight. Which they needed to do.
Well, they took a few hits up top, right? But you had Lee wins, Bravo Young, DeSanto wins, Max Murin beats both Tristan Moran and Mikey Clark to make the quarters. You had Lugo coming through in overtime against Ryan Blees. You had Caleb Young, he looked great, smashed Keyshawn Hayes, and then Marinelli wins. So, I mean, really kind of on fire. You know, they dropped a few up top, but I thought Iowa, and listen, I'm like number one Iowa critic. I thought Iowa looked great today.
Phenomenal.
Stoll
looked like the Stoll that we've seen. Relative. I mean, he learned how to get off bottom.
Well, Conan Jennings chooses top, and Stoll wins 1-0.
Rightfully so. I mean, Jennings had ridden him out a number of times. He chose top. Stoll gets out. That's the match. But Sam Stoll. I was gonna say he found the fountain of youth, but that's a stretch. But I mean, the whole Iowa team, top to bottom, I think they wrestled as well as we've seen them wrestle all year.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start. With 125 pounds. Kind of just go through these matches. Obviously, you know, the one of the ones that I pointed at that it ended up, it got overshadowed by everything else that was going on. But you got Foley, Arujau wins 12-2, looked really good in that one. And Rivera, you know, kind of has a close one. Mueller looks great against Mikhail McGee. I always thought it was Michael. I didn't know it was Mikhail. And the other thing, I guess, kind of a storyline that we've been talking about now is Spencer Lee. He wins 9-1, but he doesn't look great again.
Yeah, I mean he looks a little. I don't even know. I don't know. Lethargic.
Lethargic, hesitant. Yeah, I mean, you know, luckily for him, Sean Foss guessed also. I mean, Sean Foss looked exhausted in third period, got ridden out, got turned. But there was a few really good exchanges there.
I just thought Fowles tactically didn't wrestle a great match. I mean, we were talking in the stands.
Well, yeah, he gave up the easy takedown in a second.
He wasn't closing out periods when, you know, it's almost like he just needed to control position, pull on Lee's head, get to the third period. He gets up a takedown at the end of the second, which kind of puts the match out of reach at that point.
Yes.
So tactically, Falls was in the match, had a lot of great scrambles, but tactically didn't execute well at the end of periods, which is gonna kill you against a guy like Spencer
when
Lee.
there's 15 seconds left and you're down 3-1, and you got a guy who's kind of dealing with that pressure. You can just take your time, right? You go in bottom third period. You got an escape in the first period. It's likely going to be 3-2. The pressure on when Spencer gets that takedown, it's like pressure's off. I'm up 5-1. I give up an escape. I give up a takedown. It's like if I give up an escape and a takedown, I still am tied. Like,
I mean, there's little subtle things that he could have done to apply the pressure to Nick Lee, and he didn't do that. He kind of took the pressure away from Lee, which I would think going into every match, like, hey, force him to wrestle perfectly, force him to execute, force him to create opportunities. Don't make mistakes. I mean, it's like one of those things at this level, you want to go out as a coach, as an athlete, you're going out to execute, you're going out to win. But there's certain situations like don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't make a mistake.
Yes. And exactly. So I don't think Lee wrestles a thing in the morning. I think it's going to be competitive.
Yeah, Russell,
I mean, keeps it close.
Yeah.
But I think we got 3 really good quarters besides that. So we got Rivera, Arujau.
Number 1 match at 125 for me tomorrow.
You want to see that one?
Huge. Yeah, that's my match at 125.
I mean, Rivera didn't look great against Matten, but I feel like
it's another Big Ten guy. I mean, when you've seen these guys, especially they've seen these guys, they've seen each other probably 6 times in the last 2 years. So I mean, the more times you wrestle, it's going to be difficult. And then you throw the atmosphere of the NCAA tournament in here. And I'm not surprised. I didn't think Rivera looked bad. I just thought there was a lot of familiarity with his opponent.
Yeah, with Matt Dernlan. So, Glory Pitch, who are you picking?
I'm gonna go with Pitch. I mean,
okay, sticking with it. Yeah, we can change our picks. We're gonna be fluid, right?
Yeah,
and if you're smart, you pick someone different than you picked the last time. So that way you win no matter what.
Right. But I mean, this goes back to Glory. Remember, we were so impressed with him getting tech fault at the beginning of the year in November. And we both said, like,
man, Glory looked good today.
Don't be surprised if he makes it on the podium. And we were saying this back in November when he got tech fault.
We had tech fault.
And sure enough, he's looking good.
The best looking tech fault of all time.
Yes.
Okay, Mueller Bresser. I think that's gonna be a fun one. I don't know that Bresser has a great style for Mueller. I think Bresser's gonna win that match. So, any other thoughts here at 25 before we scoot on to 33?
No, I think there's plenty to talk about. Let's move on to 33.
33 was fire.
I mean, this is one of those. This weight class we've been talking all year. Like, you almost have to just pick a match, commit to a match.
No, but hold on, Matt. Okay. Bravo, we already talked. Bravo Young DeSanto was awesome. Gomez Phillippi, awesome. Tariq Wilson, Lizak, awesome. Corbin Myers is bringing the heat on Soriano for a minute there. And then Pletcher Bridges was a good match. I mean, all of those were happening all at one time.
Lived up to its billing. I mean, we've been saying one of the toughest weight classes of all time.
Yes.
Second round didn't disappoint. I'm sure quarterfinals, it's going to keep ramping itself up every round.
So let's go 2 here. Let's go Phillippi Gomez. I mean, were you watching the end of this?
Okay. I was watching another match.
Okay, let me tell you. Gomez got in on a shot with about 40 seconds left. And Phillippi's defense on the edge with the leg up with the match on the line was nothing less than spectacular. I mean, Gomez was being really aggressive trying to finish, and Phillippi was just defense after defense after defense. It was, I mean, just very high level stuff. So
so much composure in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is critical. When you have the intensity, when you have the environment, when you have the crowd to stay composed and in the moment with your leg up in the air, kind of dead to rights. He just stayed wrestling. You got 40 seconds.
Well, you got 40 seconds with your leg up. That's not a short period of time. That's a very long period of time. And then Wilson Lizak, that goes down. Wilson almost gets taken out the buzzer. I didn't think it was. It was very close. Go to the review. No takedown. Lizak wins.
Wilson, several opportunities for a defensive fall that were really close.
I didn't think it was, but yeah, I mean, I mean,
not out of the realm. I mean, it wasn't one of those situations where it's like, hey, watch out. I mean, but Wilson was definitely putting him in danger from the bottom position, looking for a defensive fall.
Yeah, I was shocked that Lizak kept going back to, and I know that's what he does, right? But so I wish we had a wrestling mat here. I would get the wrestling mat for you guys. But Wilson kept putting his hands back like this, and he was so long that he was getting the height that Lizak couldn't take him one way or the other. So he's kind of getting stuck there.
And when he tried to adjust, he was headhunting back and forth either arm.
Yep. So, I mean, great job, both guys. So this also, what's funny about this bracket is it's so exciting, but it went straight to seed. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all left for the morning. We got Fitz, Ernesti, Pletcher, Phillippi, which I think those guys are high school workout partners. Not the same team, but
workout partners.
They're young guns, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same club.
Then they wrestled in Vegas. You got Suriano Lizak, which that's like Lizak's worst matchup in the bunch for him. I don't think he's got a chance. And then you got DeSanto Micic, which obviously they have the history from last year. Now, Micic, we both had heard rumors he was hurt. He looked really good today. He didn't look hurt to me.
He's looking like the healthiest hurt guy I've ever seen. Because he
looked great.
There was no, and I was looking to see if, he was favoring something. He wasn't walking quite right, but no, I thought Micic looked phenomenal. And, if this is the Micic that comes tomorrow, I think it's going to be another great match.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, because you have the Micic that was in the WrestleMax in Vegas, got killed by DeSanto last year. You have the one who on the NCAAs on the front side majored him. I mean, you have a few different ones that could show up. So we'll just wait and see. I'll go with, I guess if I had to pick, I'd go with Micic the way he looked today. He didn't look hurt. DeSanto looked good, but not great against Bravo Young.
And that when they ran into the head table, that just completely.
I wish we would have seen a review of that. They didn't show any replays.
We didn't see anything, and it completely disrupted the flow of the match.
Yes.
So, that's always difficult in any situation, let alone the NCAA tournament, that you've got a gap of about 2 minutes where you're just standing around trying to figure out, so. But you got to deal with the situation,
Absolutely.
right? That's how things played out. And I thought, there's a lot of people that, say that DeSanto lets the emotion get the better of him.
Not today. He was stone cold today.
He was ice.
Well, he did throw up a stall call in the first match.
He did.
Well, that was kind of
warranted. But
he stalled the call. The guy. He literally had to listen. This is like a Happy Gilmore record. No one else has tried to stab someone with their skate. No one else has stalled out someone in the first period. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't know this for a fact. It's literally never happened.
I've never seen it.
It's never happened. There's no way.
But I think that helped him jump into the tournament.
Yeah.
Calling the stall call, feeling the flow, doing it.
Absolutely. All right, 141, Matt. Man, and we stayed on fire. We really did. We didn't cool off at all. Yanni, Chad Red, awesome. Yanni controls it, but almost, a few really good scrambles. Demas Store goes down to the buzzer. Demas hits an inside trip. Ironman, Cam Kelly, that's his name, right, Cam?
Yep, from Ohio University. 10-8.
I didn't like it though, because I'm a Mizzou homer, so
and I'm a little bit more familiar with Cam Kelly being from Ohio. Yeah. He's, I believe, several times state champion. Ohio has had a really good, solid career. He's a good wrestler. So that did it surprise me that he gave Ironman a decent match this close?
Usually for me, when Ironman gets up early, he stays up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of cascades lots of times for the opponent. But Cam Kelly did a good job bringing himself back into the match. Never really totally at risk, but it became much closer. Kyle Shoup. I don't know this guy. I don't know if you know this guy. Big upset over number 4, Josh Albert, 19-10.
Now, I want to say this, but I'm not sure if I'm correct. I want to say Shoup is one of the leaders in the country in tech balls. Like he scores points.
He's also from Vision Quest.
Right.
I think I heard that also. And I'm going to correct you. I did hear Willie Saylor, none of the Willie Saylor, say that I believe he picked Shoup to All-American. So, good for him. Look at beats against Josh Albert. I'm hoping he's
Lockhaven again having another good tournament.
Lockhaven's had a good tournament.
Yeah. Top 10 right now. I don't know.
Are they top 10?
They were after the quarterfinals. I believe they're now.
Oh, they dropped down.
Now after
18.
Wrestlebacks.
Yep.
Yeah. But for a large portion of the quarterfinals, they were in the top 10. So another great performance by them.
So we also got at this weight class. Nick Lee's looked awesome.
Looking really good.
Max Murin, I think, is a story. He has upsets against, we kind of mentioned this, right? Tristan Moore and Mike Carr. Both, wins 3-2, wins 4-3. He's got Nick Lee in the morning.
Tall task tomorrow.
That's a tall task.
But, you couldn't ask anything more for Max Mueller in the first day. Beating two seeded guys, two guys that beat him, I think, during the regular season, comes back, beats them today. If you're Tom Brands at 141, you couldn't ask any more than what you got out of Mueller today.
100%. And so then the other one that's looked amazing, Joe McKenna, is hammer smash.
He looked
Cade Brock.
Really, really good.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see another matchup, McKenna Lee tomorrow. It's going to be a showdown, and then hopefully Ironman Yanni.
Demas is always good for a big move. I don't see
Yanni doesn't come out of position
he doesn't.
All right, Matt. Start at 141. I'm gonna get 149. I'm gonna get a drink. I'm gonna step off. Keep going.
All right, so 141. Things are kind of holding true to form. We got Ashnault coming through 7-1 against Jeffries from Oklahoma, looking solid, looking like the 3-time All-American he is.
Almost four.
One more. Kolodzik actually.
Looked good.
He looked good, and this is one of the first times where I saw Kolodzik initiating his offense early in the match, not waiting for the last 30 seconds, which has been his MO typically throughout his career, waiting for short time to score. He didn't. He went out, went on the hunt, scored his points early, which I don't think Berge was anticipating that. I think they were wrestling tactically for 30 seconds at the end of each period. And when Kolodzik came out and initiated the attack, I don't think Berge was necessarily ready for that because, but that's as good as I've seen Kolodzik wrestle for the last month and a half.
Absolutely. I thought really aggressive. Good job by Kolodzik. Brock Mueller, freshman from Missouri, looks good. So that's 4-5. Nothing too exciting on the bottom, I guess, except for Patrick Lugo, 10 seed, makes the quarters. Crazy overtime match. I mean, Blees almost had the go behind and then blows it, gives up the takedown.
It's almost like he took his foot off the gas. Like
he thought he had it.
He had Lugo dead to rights, at least in his mind, but Lugo kept wrestling. He kept wrestling. Yep. It looked like he took his foot off the gas, and that was all that he needed. One window of opportunity to reverse the situation. Micah Jordan. We
talked about good Joey McKenna looked. Micah Jordan looked just good. I mean, Max Thompson's a former All-American. He beat him 17-4.
Yeah.
He in the business. So
hence why I picked the guy to win the tournament.
There we go. All right. 157. All right. We got, and this is where I would say, for me, I'm going to not throw all these. This is kind of where it cooled off for me. Those first three, especially 49, kind of were just total fire. This one, I kind of had to take a deep breath.
And I think, I think where we got spoiled there, 25, 33, 41.
So like good.
Every round of 16 match was on fire. But here we had several good matches, but it did kind of taper off.
Yeah, none of them were really close besides the Patelio. So you got Nolf over Ben Brill. I'm sorry, this Pagdaleo Humphreys match was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was kind of back and forth. Pagdaleo won in the third period.
Hidley looks dominant.
Hidley looks really good. So what's your take on Hidley Patelio tomorrow?
They're so similar. They're so physical. They control position so well.
They're so similar.
Yeah. I mean, it's should be a great matchup.
Gun to your head.
I'm saying Patelio, but I say that
I'm gonna go Hidley.
Yeah, and this is my gun. I'm hoping that Patelio that I know when he wrestles to his ability. I think he's the second best guy in the weight class, but I think he can also get beat by the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guy on any given day as well. So I think this could be one of the best matches at 157 in the quarters. That's of the quarterfinal matches. That's the one that I want to watch tomorrow.
Okay, so Deacon Caleb Young.
Deacon, I thought looked back on track. Didn't look quite as good.
He smashed Griffin Perriott.
Yeah,
Perriott's solid.
Yeah. So I thought he looked really good.
Okay, 65. This is probably my second favorite weight class of the tournament. Really, Marinelli looks good. Makai Lewis looks good. Marsteller Campbell was a close one. And then Steyert with the upset over Massa. I thought I didn't really see it coming. I know Steyert's good. I just didn't think he was going to have the juice to take out Massa.
Massa just didn't have an answer on
just
bottom.
And and the other thing, and you said this before, on his feet, if the other guy's kind of defensive, he'll just shoot from straight on over and over again without setting anything up or doing anything different. It's like, come on, man, you got to make something happen.
Right.
Yeah. So that was, I don't know. I feel like he's got a little more for us. The other Connor Flynn kept it nice and close. Against Vincenzo Joseph, gets the takedown. So we're gonna see double overtime last year. Isaiah White, Vincenzo Joseph. That was barn burner last, and it was around 16 last year.
So is this the time? Is this the time that White finally gets it?
No, I don't think so. I just don't. I think White's great at keeping it close. He's just not great at winning. You think about all the people White keeps it close with Marinelli. Everybody. Nobody blows Isaiah White out, but he also has hard times getting over the hump there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to score points. It's not about keeping it close. At this point, there's no moral victories here. So, you got to commit yourself. I don't know what Mark Manning and the staff is saying to Isaiah White to try and flip the attitude about how you've got to approach the match to get a different outcome. But, yeah, I mean, you've got to do something different because you've tried the same thing over and over again. It's been close, but not quite good enough. Yes. So you've got to do something to switch something up. And I know that's a really tough thing to do in this situation, in this environment, in the quarterfinals. So should be interesting to see what happens. Okay.
Mekhi Lewis beat Alex Marinelli to make the junior world team last year. He went on to win a junior world gold medal.
First freestyle tournament, or second or third freestyle tournament.
Third, because it was the Open, the trials. And he did not do great at the Open, actually. I think he took like fifth-ish.
Right.
Does he have any threat for Alex Marinelli? Or is it one of those where it's close, but he's not really threatening him?
I think it's close, not threatening him.
Okay.
I think folk style freestyle in this situation. I think obviously freestyle.
But we just said that it was only Mekhi Lewis's second freestyle tournament ever, which I know Alex Marinelli also didn't do any freestyle, but so they're kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think you tack on folk style rules, 1 extra minute, that really bodes well for Marinelli and the pressure he creates over 7 minutes. I think that third period is the difference maker for Marinelli.
We're getting a lot. We appreciate all these comments. We're not reading the comments yet. We're going to read the comments towards the end. We're going to go through all these brackets, do our thing, and then we're going to go through the brackets. I did. Someone said Oklahoma State looked like crap today. And they're not. And they're not.
I mean, we'll get to the overall commentary and the team race and different.
We did comment on Iowa's good performance, but we did not comment on Oklahoma State.
Well, as good as Iowa was.
Hey, did you see any hands in the face calls today?
I didn't. I saw someone challenge a hand to the face, but it wasn't confirmed. But yeah, so far something that we thought would factor in some big time matches, hands to the face. We haven't seen that so far. But again, not only is the pressure ratcheted up on these athletes tomorrow, the pressure is also ratcheted up on these officials. So it'll be interesting. We're talking about how these guys are going to handle the pressure of a situation. How are these refs going to handle the pressure of a situation? Because they're not.
I like them. I like that. I mean, I'd get rid of the hands to the face call, so I'm not too sad to see.
Not at all.
Not many of them today.
You definitely don't want an All-American or a national title decided by something like that.
Yeah, well, we did have a crazy match. I'm sure we'll get to the Cash Wilke Dean match, which I honestly I agreed with all the calls, but I know it was very contentious. So
74.
Hall wins easy. Lujan gets the fall over Skatska. Looks good. Cutler, easy win. Amin, easy win. Valencia, easy win. And your man, I don't know if he's your man. I'm throwing that out there. Ben Harvey. Up number 22 in the course. That's our lowest quarterfinal.
Hey, let's give Kevin Ward
22.
Kevin Ward and Army a ton of credit. Those guys
they look good today.
Yeah, Army looked phenomenal. Both rounds they came out hot.
Yeah.
And they kept building momentum this session. So really excited. Kevin Ward, great coach, doing a great job at Army. Good to see his guys coming through and wrestling at a high level today.
Absolutely. Mikey Labrola upset over Jacoby Smith.
But you know what? After the first round, I mean, this is what we're going to get into. After the first
round. What's
Oklahoma
State do it? They should just lift everyone up.
It's you're looking prophetic right now. I mean, it's what you've been saying for the last couple of weeks. Because
Gear did not look good.
He didn't look good.
Jacoby didn't look good. Joe didn't look good. And Chandler's hanging out in the stands.
And it's like a tale of two teams. The front half of Okie State's lineup looked pretty well. Not Brock.
Gefellers out.
Yep. But
the first two.
Okay, let's first two look really good.
I mean, you know what's so insane about this, man, is we're talking about Oklahoma State smashed Iowa in a duel. I mean, it wasn't very close. I think it was 7 matches to 3. Iowa's got their first 6 guys in the quarterfinals. You know, I mean, it's like
Okie State's got 2.
Yeah,
2 of the first 6.
And Okie State's got 2. So it's like, I mean, the tide has turned from that duel, obviously.
I mean, even at 97 in heavyweight, they didn't look great today. White and Weigel. White and Weigel didn't look
Chase Singletary.
Yeah, they didn't look bulletproof by any means. So
okay, so Mikey Labrola is in the quarters.
But it's kind of 74 is kind of what we said. There was after the first 4 or 5 guys, there was a separating point. Now Labriola, give Labriola credit. Had a tough Big Ten tournament a couple weeks ago. Looks like he's done it, looks like a completely different wrestler. The wrestler that we've seen throughout the season.
Yeah. So we get back on track with the heat, and 184 was heat everywhere. Ryan Price, Vens, awesome match. It was on the far end, so we couldn't see that one that great. But we were, Nino Bonacorsi gets a huge upset over number 4, which
called it.
I tell you, Nino Bonacorsi's underseeded, damn it.
For everybody that didn't see, I can attest. In between sessions, Ben was calling Bonacorsi in this
all
match.
Day long. Yeah. Bonacorsi looking good. So Dean Wilkie, it ends up 6-4. Dean gets a takedown at the end, but I'm sorry, in overtime. But there was a stall. So there was 3 stall points. The third period, 2 for Dean, 1 for Wilkie. Man, the second one that they gave Dean, the Iowa coaches were livid about it, but it was literally what the rule was invented for. Dean has in a scramble, gets Wilkie's foot. Wilkie just dives out of bounds.
You gotta call it.
Is it any more clear?
That's a no-brainer. I don't even know what they were upset about. Obviously,
what were they upset about?
Well, it's the emotion of the situation. Obviously, you're going to be fighting for everything, even though they know you can't
straight out of bounds.
Straight out of bounds. You just can't do that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something you stress all the time in practice. Like
absolutely.
You can't even kick and turn and face anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, it's automatic. They're going to call that. And for me, I thought it was bad execution at the end on Iowa's part by taking a shot, because Dean doesn't really generate much of his own offense.
But that was okay. Listen, I'm going to give you a counterpoint though, because Dean was pushing so hard, and so what would happen is that Dean would push, Wilkie would get the edge, Wilkie would drop underneath, and then kind of do this hang on thing. So if Wilkie doesn't do that, I think he goes out of bounds the whole time. Maybe we got the DeSanto stall,
which he does. I mean, you got to give Dean credit for controlling the mat area.
Yes.
I mean, he always had his butt to center. He was pushing him out of his back. He forced him into a bad shot, which is part of Dean's game plan.
That's
He's
going to
create pressure, force him into a bad shot, and he did. I mean, it got compounded because there was stall calls, so he couldn't go out of bounds. So it's almost like I have to shoot. So while I was criticizing him for shooting, he didn't really have much of a choice but to shoot in that situation. Yeah, I mean, so it's tough balance there. And then the biggest upset of the tournament so far, Chip Ness hits the move. I guess they're calling it the Ripper. The Ripper. We had some Chip Ness fans sitting right behind us the whole time. And they were calling it the whole time. They were like, go to the Ripper. We can go to, they said he's got max. He said he's got two secret moves. 2 rips maximum, right, per tournament. And they're like, he's got to go to it now. He's got to use the Ripper now. Oh, my goodness. And he used the Ripper. And he catches Shakur on his back, puts Shakur on his back. And I know that the FRL guys, they're going nuts because, they were complaining all season that Shakur was ranked so high when he essentially sat out against everybody tough. The only tough match he wrestled all year was Vens at Big Tens. Hey, he's obviously not 100%. So you think he's that hurt? I do. I mean, he's got a sleeve from his ankle up to his crotch. So I mean, he doesn't look like it's affecting him that much. But obviously, you don't just slap on a brace like that if nothing's wrong with you. You don't just sucker a guy like, hey, I'm really hurt, and you're not. I mean, I don't know what the extent is, but I actually thought, Rashid was wrestling good that match until he got caught on his back. I mean, it's not like he was winning. He was winning. What, 5-2, 6-2? 6-2, I think. Yeah. So he gets caught on his back.
And then he's going to face Sammy Colbert. So that's our lowest double-seeded quarterfinal. You got 15 versus 10. Colbert looks good when beats Dakota Gear. And that's –
And again, Gear, he's a guy that I've been very high on. I've been telling you guys, like,
Yeah.
don't sleep on this guy. I think he's, round of 12, his true freshman year, redshirted last year. It's like, I think he's got a little bit more than you're giving him credit for. I guess you didn't need to give him any credit because he did.
He got wrestled back still.
Yeah.
But he didn't look good against Sammy Colbert.
No.
Oklahoma State didn't look really good today.
Tough
They had a rough day.
They did.
Yeah. Okay, Bo Nickel does Bo Nickel things. That one throw he hit looks so just schoolyard. Like, you don't know wrestling. You just freaking someone charges you and you whip them. It works.
I mean, the thing that I love about Bo Nickel, and he reminds me of another Penn State great, Quentin Wright. The bigger the stage, the bigger move, the less consciousness he has in the big moments. And that's why, which is compounded. Like, he wrestles with such freedom, and it's not reckless abandon. It's just complete freedom in big match situations. And
he's good everywhere.
But it looks even worse because
Hold on, can I roast someone on here?
Sure.
Joel Supernaut, you're pissing me off. This is Chael's co-host on the podcast. And Joel, I'm calling him next week to roast you, but I saw you here, so I'm going to do it right now. Matt, you know what he got on me about on Chael's show?
What's that?
He got on me because I was having too much fun and I enjoyed it, and I didn't look like I was para-focused to fight. And it's like, Joel, here's what I have to say to that. It's really simple. Unless you've won state titles, national titles, Hodge Awards, Olympic trials, world titles in MMA, don't tell me how to get ready for a competition. I clearly know how to get ready. I've won a lot of damn things.
And you know what?
Let me do how I do.
The guys that are most relaxed and seem completely normal in big moments are the scariest people, right?
Right.
There's a guy like, what's wrong with this guy? He's smiling. He's joking around. He's having
like
fun.
Bo Nickel.
Right.
So, Joel, leave me alone. All right, back to wrestling. All right. This is our second. We did 22 in the quarters. This is our second one. I don't even know this man's first name. Thomas Freight Train Lane upsets Jacob Warner. Warner, man, as much as we just complimented Iowa, and now we're kind of like we're back to bashing him. Warner looked like garbage. He just laid on the mat.
But you've talked about Warner all season long. Like he's
no energy.
And he's got tools. We've seen
he had tools.
He had
tools.
We didn't see any real committed offensive attacks. I mean, the Cal Poly guy was on him. And
he got ridden out in the second period. I don't think he got to his feet one time in the second period. And the Cal Poly guy just kept attacking. And there was just nothing. There was nothing in response from Warner. He looked tired. He acted tired. The Cal Poly guy was hustling back to the middle saying, come on, dude. Or he's doing this now.
It's almost those things when you see those guys hustling back to the center, it almost gets in your head. Like, what is wrong with this guy?
Seriously. So, man, Thomas Lane, good job. You got Patrick Brucky. Brucky had a tight one. I mean, Malik McDonald, for what it's worth, this bracket, which, most people say 97 is not the good one class, Malik McDonald's tough out.
He's a
really tough out.
Yeah, it's not a guy you like to see in your line. But when he does, you got to strap it on, dig in, and wrestle a heck of a match because he's not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn it against him.
Yeah, I agree. So, Bruner upsets Willie Miklas. Weigel wins. Tom Slay. You commented on Mr. Tom Slay.
Yeah,
he's formerly of Bucknell. I did not know that. You informed me of that.
Bucknell, which not a lot of people know, you have to wrestle all 4 years. You can't redshirt at Bucknell, even though it's not an Ivy League school. It's an elite academic school. Thomas Slay graduated in 4 years from Bucknell. He's doing his graduate work at Virginia Tech. He's had a good career. He's made it to the tournament several times. So this wasn't a surprise. He's had a lot of good results.
Has he got anything for Colin Moore, though?
I think in this situation, Moore will physically dominate him.
Okay.
And
Moore looked good.
He did. He really looked good. I mean,
Ohio State's horses look like horses.
Yeah, I mean, that's another team.
Their studs look like studs.
Yeah.
They're not so studs, not so studly. But their top guys were on fire.
But that's what you want to count on. Like if my horses are here, my horses got to run. And Ohio State's horses ran today. Ran in a big way.
They look good.
Moore, McKenna, Jordan, Miles Martin. everybody.
Pletcher
looked
really good.
Even their guys. I mean, Singletary wrestled great.
Singletary wrestled hard.
You know, I think the guys, even in defeat, they all wrestled really, really hard.
Absolutely. All right, heavyweight. So, like we said, Singletary gave Derek White a battle.
Heavyweight, the rebirth of Sam Stoll.
Right? Oh, guys, we told you we left. Matt wanted to leave. He didn't want to watch Sam Stoll that first session, and Sam Stoll wins a wild one over Mason Paris. This one's not so wild, but he wins 1-0 over. So Conan Jennings chooses top. Doesn't ride him out. The only one a 15-second ride. And then they just belly bump the rest of the time.
Yeah.
1-0. So Sam Stoll, this is who he was supposed to have first. He was supposed to have Jordan Wood first round. So he's actually our lowest quarterfinals at 28.
Wow.
The number 28 seed quarterfinalist.
Which he's not looking, I mean.
But he had a shit season. I mean, a lot of people didn't think he should qualify for NCAAs.
He didn't.
So 28 is warrant. I mean,
and he
didn't place at Big Tens.
No, he's looked awful on bottom, and he's escaped both matches, which shouldn't seem like that big of a deal. But this guy's been getting ridden by every single heavyweight this year.
Yes,
and
every heavyweight.
Both matches he's escaped.
And Conan Jennings pretty damn good on top.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason he chose top.
Oh yeah, the Central Park Pepper did say Sam Stoll to the semis. Oh, nice. Okay. Desi looks fantastic. Stevenson looks good. Hillary gets the win over Hamida 2-0, and Cassar looks good. Do you think Desi has anything for Stevenson? Sorry.
No.
No. Okay. Fair enough.
Although he's.
I also, you know what? I'd agree with you, but I'm kind of interested because I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong.
And maybe he does. Maybe it's me. I mean, I know how good Desi is. Yeah. I know his track record, but maybe, the only match I've really watched of Desi this year is against Mason Paris, which was
that was his worst match
and his first match of the college season. So maybe I should just completely. I think I'm letting that taint my thought of Desi.
Because he looked good today. He was throwing credits on that dude.
Yeah, he looked really good. Now that being said, I mean, he's probably going to have to bring another level of effort tomorrow against Stevenson.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one. Okay, overall thoughts. So we'll go to the team scores. Let's just read those off to you. A lot of team points. Matt was pissed about the team points coming off the board. Everyone getting team points taken away.
I mean, that's big though. We had 3 teams in the top 10 lose team points at one point.
Missouri lost team point.
Missouri lost the team point. Penn State, Northern Iowa, Arizona State lost 2. Arizona State lost 2. So
hard to be in top 10 when you lose 2 team points.
It really is. I mean, it's hard. I mean, giving away a team point, that's giving away a win, number one, and probably anywhere from 2 to 5 places in the team race. Because it's so close, there's so little margin of error. Every win is critical. And I get it. I've lost team points here. So I know in the heat of the moment, the things that come out of your mouth in the heat of it. But especially the first day, you don't want to do anything to hurt your team. And that's where, I mean, these are coaches hurting their team.
Absolutely.
Right?
So let's make sure everyone knows just how the team scoring goes. So today, literally the only thing that was scored was advancement, which you get 1 point for one on the front side, half point for one on the back side, and bonus, which is 2 points for a pin, injury default, forfeit, 1.5 for technical fault, 1 for a major. So there's not really any big points on the board. Where the big points come from is the placement. So if you win in the quarters, you go to the semis, which means at worst, you can finish 6th. So you get 6th place points. So tomorrow morning session, you're going to get the gigantic points. Then the night session, if you win in the semis, you go from 2nd.
You get the huge points.
6th to 2nd. And then you also have the All-American round. So you guys are going from not All-Americaning to the All-American 8th place points. So tomorrow is where the big points come in. Penn State still has a 7-point lead over Ohio State. Iowa in 3rd. Then a kind of, for day 1 points, a big drop-off to Minnesota, Oklahoma State in 4th, and then Missouri in 6th.
I mean, to your point, when you're
talking, but everyone's alive here, man. If you look, everyone here has, 6 quarter, 5 quarters, 7 quarters, 4, 4, 4, 4, a bunch of 3s. So, it's not like everyone, all these people have a lot of people in the quarters. So, I mean, tomorrow morning is the make or break round. I mean, if you go, say if Iowa goes 2 for 5 in the quarters and Ohio State goes 5-0, that's a big swing,
Yeah, I think, of the teams that are in the trophy race that are the top.
So who are you saying? Are you saying right now? Are you saying would you include Michigan in the trophy race, or you say Michigan's out?
No, I think
so. Trophy's top 4,
but there's more pressure there. That's the thing. Like when you're talking about non-placement points on day one, when you create separation, when you're giving gaps of 5 to 10 points in the first day, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is.
Yes.
Like it's harder to make up.
Yes.
Because you need those guys. You need numbers on the second day. You need numbers on the front side of the bracket on the second day to have the opportunity. Now, with Michigan, they've almost got to go 3 for 3 in the quarterfinals.
Oh, they have to.
They have to.
Yes. And they need a big run from Mason Paris, and they need a big run from Logan Mass on the backside. I mean, they got some serious winning being done. I mean, really, part of me says the team race right now is Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, Oklahoma State, and that's it's going to end up 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Missouri, Minnesota, Michigan on the outside looking in. Obviously, other crazy things can happen, but that's how it feels to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me, in all the NCAA tournaments I've been in, if you're going to go in a deep run, if you're going to win a trophy, if you're going to win a national title, it's how long can you sustain your momentum? Because it's almost impossible, as we saw with Iowa, as great as a round that they had, they lost one at 84 that they were probably hoping that they could get. Iowa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
so it's really hard to maintain momentum. And so really tomorrow it's going to be who can come out and establish momentum, and how long can you hang on to that momentum as well.
And Penn State's got the most momentum because they're going to win a whole bunch of matches. The part one of the things for them though, it doesn't start till it's really on the back half for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll probably win Nick Lee, but after that, they're waiting till 57. Whereas Iowa can get started early. Oklahoma State's got the first 2.
They almost have to. Almost have to. I mean, they have to. Okie State, Iowa have to come out hot at the lower weights. It's critical.
Absolutely
critical.
All right, let's take a few questions. We're sorry we don't have a nice camera. We're gonna get that figured out tomorrow morning. We're gonna do a few not public test runs. I don't drink. No alcohol. I ate some chips and salsa. I don't know if you guys could see that part of it today. Drank a little water. Matt had some. I don't think Matt took a sip of water. He just rolled all the way through it. Is Coach Dresser the coach of the year? He's up there.
He's got to be.
He's up there. They had one, Matt. They had one qualifier last year.
1
to 8. They have 8 this year, correct?
Yes.
1 to 8. I mean, he should be in there. Man, very good. Sebastian Rivera has been around Frankie Edgar his whole life. He has?
He's a Jersey guy, right?
Well, he's a Jersey guy. I knew that, but I didn't know he's been hanging out with Frankie Edgar. It's probably tough then. We're cheering for Cam. Matt loves Campbell University. He does the podcast with Carrie, obviously. Chance or Wick. I'm cheering for Wick. Favorite for the Hodge. We talked about that this morning. Chance of a 20 seed wrestling in the semis. That's a good question because we only had we have 3. We got Stoll, Thomas Lane, and Ben Harvey. Those are our 3 choices.
I think
I'm saying it's unlikely.
Unlikely. Stoll's probably of the 3. Stoll's probably the best option.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was a question that
I say no, but Stoll's our best option.
Okay, now with the prospect, I had someone reach out this morning that wanted a question answered about Marinelli. Did you get any concern from Marinelli being taken down twice early in?
Not really. I mean, we kind of talked about that. You said just, he's a cool customer. We knew that, if me and you knew it, he probably knew that Joe Smith didn't have 7 good minutes of gas in him. Yeah. Max Murin's chances of beating Lee. I'm going to go with very, very low. Low. He just, you know what? If you're going to beat someone who's that much better than you, when we're talking about 3 versus 22, you got to have some kind of secret weapon like Chip Ness the Ripper.
You got to have a Ripper or something.
Max Murin doesn't have a Ripper. What has he got? Nothing.
No, you gotta have a secret weapon at some point.
Yeah, I say thumbs down. I think Nick Lee's going to win that. DeSanto upset Micic. I was hearing that Micic was really hurt, and that's not what it appeared today. He looked really good today. So I'm going to go with Micic.
I would have given, before today, that question more serious thought. But after the Micic we saw today, I think he beats DeSanto.
Yeah.
Although you got to give DeSanto credit. I mean, people get on him all the time about how emotional he is. We haven't really seen any emotional outbursts
nice and
at
calm.
all
right, Lizak turnaround against Soriano. Terrible.
I don't see that. I just think
terrible,
it's a bad
matchup.
Bad matchup for Lizak. Lizak's worst matchup.
If somehow Lizak could go 0-0 and choose top, maybe. But how's he going to go 0-0? I mean, Soriano just gets through the finishes too fast. I mean, he's one of the best finishers in the NCAA. Desi versus Gable, we talked about that. Lewis beat Valencia. Well, I would love to tell you how he beat him the first time. I know he created him for the pin, but the ESPN never put that footage out. So we don't know what the rest of the match looked like. But I will tell you, Daniel Lewis looked outstanding today. I mean, 2 takedowns and cradle and pins real quick. Looked great. Obviously beating Steve Valencia is a task. I mean, this guy beat Alex Dieringer and gave Kyle Dick a good go last year. So tough task for Daniel Lewis. We'll see.
He's done it before.
Before.
So you can't. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility. I mean, Lewis is. It's almost like, is Lewis due? It's one of those things where I hate to talk in those terms because you got to make your breaks, but Lewis has been so close so many times. Is this the year?
I mean, if you guys remember 2 years ago in the quarters, he had Vincenzo dead to rights and lost with like 10 seconds left or no time. It was right there in the match. It was like, so yeah, I would love to see Daniel Lewis get it done tomorrow. All right, top 3 heavyweights. This year's heavyweights class is good, but it's gonna get a lot better. Oh, here we go. Frankie Edgar's high school wrestling coach is Sebastian Rivera's dad, and they've been close his whole life. Okay, cool, great.
Something I didn't know.
Love it. There we go.
Yeah,
we learned something here. Let's see what else. Nickel or Nolf. Well, we talked about that earlier. There's no correct answer. Colby Covington sucks. Ohio State does not win the team championship this year. Probably not next year also. Maybe I'm not going to start talking 3 years down the road yet. All right, come on. No more good questions. If we get no more good questions, we're done. So tomorrow, hey, listen, tomorrow we're going to do our quarters. We have a signing here. So we're going to do our quarter recap before the semis. So we're talking like 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish, somewhere in there. We're going to get our camera fixed in the morning. Make sure we get that. I mean, I know you like seeing our pretty faces way more clearly than this. Not so grainy. What about Scott Moore as coach of the year? You mentioned
Scott Moore.
Great job.
You
mentioned that earlier.
Mentioned it. Had a great performance at the NCAA tournament last year. Top 15. Had a great first day. They've got a couple guys in the quarterfinals position, a couple guys on the backside still. So, Scott Moore, I mean, definitely in the conversation along with Kevin Dresser for coach of the year. Absolutely. I think he's going to
not give Cale the damn award again. He gets it every year.
Well, you can't. I think there's a criteria. You can't win it. Once you win it, I think you can't win for another 3 years. But Scott Moore, I think we don't know how the coaching carousel is going to play out. I don't know. I mean, Scott Moore is a Central PA guy.
That'd be a good candidate for Maryland.
I mean, he has done a phenomenal job. I think there's going to be some discussion about Maryland. I think he's a guy that should definitely be in the mix for that conversation. I think he's done a phenomenal job, bringing the program back at Lock Haven, and really happy for him and would love to see it keep going.
Someone said Nolf is Flair and Bo is Hogan. That's good. I like that. Me and Kill Sanders have similar chins. Okay, you guys are getting ridiculous. What do you say? Think similar chins? Kale's got a gigantic chin. I mean, I have a large chin.
You both have
Kale's got an enormous chin. I think it might be larger. All right, you ready to be done? I'm tired. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, let's get some rest.
All right, end stream.